It's a question every comics fan has asked. Who can defeat Superman? After all, Superman is, well, Superman. Faster than a speeding bullet, strong enough to move planets, sharper in mind and nobler in spirit than almost anyone in the universe of comics. Yet every hero has a weakness, and every legend a challenger. So who are the ones who genuinely stand a chance, or have actually taken down the Man of Steel? Let's begin with the obvious. It's green, it glows, and it's infamous. Kryptonite. Fragments of Superman's destroyed homeworld are lethally poisonous to him, reducing his powers and racking his body with pain. In the hands of even the humblest criminal, Kryptonite can make the mighty Kal-El almost helpless. But Kryptonite alone isn't enough. Superman's more than his powers after all. He's determination, willpower, intelligence. If merely waving a rock could defeat him, well, Lex Luthor would have retired a long time ago. Which brings us to the first real contender, Lex Luthor. No superpowers, just pure genius. Luthor's defeated Superman not by brute strength, but by outsmarting him, framing him for crimes. Manipulating public opinion or engineering fiendish traps, even Superman can't punch his way out of. At his best, Lex is as formidable as any cosmic entity. But let's be honest, while Luthor's a threat, he's rarely the final boss. More often, it's his twisted schemes and alliances that nearly bring Superman to his knees. But let's raise the stakes, shall we? Across the cosmos, powerful adversaries have challenged Superman, and sometimes won. Take Doomsday. Engineered to be indestructible, Doomsday thunders onto the scene with one goal: destruction. No conversation, no hesitation. In their infamous brawl, Superman fights with every ounce of his power. Buildings flatten, streets turn to rubble, and at the end, both foes are left lifeless on the streets of Metropolis. Superman's heart stops. For a moment, Doomsday wins. But death and Superman, they don't stick. He returns, as heroes often do. Yet the message is clear. Overwhelming force, devoid of reason or mercy, can topple even the mightiest. Then there's Darkseid, ruler of Apocalypse. Darkseid is basically a god, wielding cosmic energy beams and a will to dominate all living things. He's no stranger to wrestling Superman to the ground, both physically and mentally. Where Doomsday is brute force, Darkseid is tyranny itself, menace who can banish anyone, even Superman, to the fires of an inescapable hell. In their confrontations, Superman emerges battered but never broken, yet Darkseid always leaves an indelible mark. Other foes have tried in subtler ways. PXTHN Mimp from the fifth dimension. He snaps reality like a toy, turning Superman into a puppet, a dog, a musical, whatever the imp's whim desires. Defeating him isn't about strength. It's about trick or a Kansing McSispinct. To say his name backward and vanish for 90 days. No amount of flying or punching helps here. Superman needs wit, not just strength. Let's not forget magic. Superman's durability falters against magic, more so than against any physical threat. Figures like Shazam and Black Adam, wielders of mystical power, have staggered or defeated Superman in battle. Magic bypasses his invulnerability, giving mages and enchanted beings the upper hand if they choose to exploit it. And while alien conquerors and magical entities pose ongoing threats, sometimes the most dangerous adversary is closer to home. Batman. Yes, the Dark Knight. Armed with strategy, technology, and just a dash of kryptonite. Bruce Wayne has crafted contingency plans to take down Superman in the worst-case scenario. In the legendary Hush storyline, Batman faces an out-of-control Superman and stops him without killing him using intelligent tactics and just enough force to snap Superman out of external control. Batman knows Superman's strengths. But more dangerously, he knows his weaknesses, both physical and psychological. But in the end, what truly defeats Superman? Sometimes it's loss, guilt, or doubt. In All-Star Superman, it's simple overexposure to the sun's rays ironically. The source of all his power that gives him a mortal deadline. Elsewhere in alternate realities, it's love twisted, hope corrupted, or ideals abandoned that break him more deeply than any villain ever could. So could he be defeated? Certainly. Super strength has its limits, but it's rarely by fists alone. The ones who beat Superman, even momentarily, do so by exploiting what makes him more than just a god, his humanity. To defeat him, you have to strike not just at Kryptonian muscle, but at the man who longs to belong, the hero burdened by hope, the alien with a human heart. And that's Superman's real vulnerability and, paradoxically, his greatest strength.